Welcome to Instructor Guidance Week 6. This week's discussion board will deal with material found in the Week 6 tab in Chapter 14. I suggest the first thing you do is complete the Least Preferred Coworker scale and determine your score. You can access the scale by clicking on the C13lpc.pdf file that's found in the Week 6 tab. Next, I recommend reading Chapter 14. This chapter deals with multiple theories of leadership and will give you a better understanding of how different managers use different approaches to leadership. Spend additional time on Fiedler's contingency model. Have a good understanding of the basics of this model before you begin the discussion board. Using your score from the Least Preferred Coworker scale and the material from the text, you will need to respond to 3 questions. Your original post must be 100 words in length, and you must write an original response before you can view the other students' posts. The original post is due on Wednesday of the week. The 3 questions in the discussion board are: 1. Where did you score on the LPC scale? Were you a relationship-oriented leader, a task-oriented leader, or were you a mixture of both? Number 2, do you agree with the LPC scale rating of your leadership orientation? Why or why not? 3, Fiedler believes this style is a relatively fixed part of one's personality and difficult to change. Do you agree or disagree? Support your comments. You will need to discuss the differences between the task-oriented and the relationship-oriented leader and how those differences relate to your LPC score. Next, you need to state if you agree with the LPC score and give reasons why. For instance, if your score states you are task-oriented and the description of the task-oriented leader fits your perception of yourself, then give specific examples of how that description relates. If you don't agree that you are a task-oriented leader, then give specific examples of why the description does not fit. The last question deals with Fiedler's belief that leadership style is a relatively fixed part of one's personality and is very difficult to change. If you agree, state so and give support. If you don't agree, you need to support that contention too. Either way, you have other contingency theories such as Hershey-Blanchard, path-goal, etc. to use for support. Lastly, don't assume that I know what you're talking about. Give support and make it clear what you're saying. Support all statements with the text or the LPC scale. You should be familiar with how to post a discussion board and how to respond to classmates from last week's discussion boards. All statements and comments must be supported by the text or the LPC scale. I will not require you to show references from the text or the PDF, but the support is required to come from those sources. Please keep in mind, the original post needs to answer the 3 questions thoroughly. This means your answer must be directly supported. This means if you make a statement, then it must have written support. It is not assumed that your statements are understood. The original post is worth up to 20 points. You will notice that responses to 2 classmates are worth up to 20 points also. This means that the responses to the classmates are to be as thorough as the original responses and need to be supported. Again, it is not assumed that your statements are understood without written support. I agree or good post or such will be worth 0 points. As always, you must write an original response before you see your classmates' posts. The original post is due on Wednesday of the week, and the minimum 2 responses to classmates are due on Sunday of the week. The quiz will cover chapters 13 and 14. There are study guides included in the weekly tab to assist you. If you have any questions, contact me early in the week at myers-d@mssu.edu.